I'm Chanel Stewart, Miss Inspirer, life coach and motivational speaker. And on today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to deal with or overcome rejection. Yeah. Now, of course, rejection is a very big, painful, and discouraging thing that happens to us every now and again in life, but it's also a part of life. And I want to give you some tips on how you can actually overcome rejection. The first tip is I want you to know that life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. So when something bad happens and you didn't get that job, you didn't get into that school, or you didn't get that person who you had a nice affection or affinity towards, whatever it was that you got rejected from, I want you to know that it's not happening to you. So it's not for you to say, why is this happening to me? Why me? It's not happening to you. Life is happening for you. Sometimes rejection comes to show you that you're doing something wrong, meaning the things that come to you are always based on what you are attracting to yourself. And so you need to ask yourself, what about me is causing this to happen? Or the next thing you have to ask is, what am I being directed towards? Because sometimes, I can give you an example. When I was applying for a scholarship to do an exchange program back when I was doing my undergraduate degree, I was told that school would only accept one person for their exchange program. And I was like, no, I got rejected. That means I'm not going to get it. And I felt like it was the end of the world for me to not go to that university. But I shook it off, and I dealt with the rejection, and I realized that I wasn't even supposed to be at that school. My calling was to be at another school where I was able to meet one of my best friends and where I was able to create that sense of independence for myself in that environment. I was able to live in the center of Toronto and have like all these amazing experiences because I was going to that specific school. Now, if I wasn't rejected from the other school, I would have been in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the cold snow of Canada and probably a bit depressed. And so it felt like a rejection at that time, but it was a blessing in disguise. And so sometimes your rejections are just showing you that there are other paths for you to take. When one door closes, another will open. Another thing I want you to pay attention to is that no sometimes means not yet. Just because you got no for this job, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to work in that industry. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's the end of the road for you. It could just mean that you need to be a bit more creative or persevere even more with the goal that you have set. So when rejection comes into play, remember this. Life is not happening to you. This is not happening to you, honey. It's happening for you. There's a bigger purpose behind this rejection. And that's what you need to figure out what it is. The second thing is, no means not yet. Just because you didn't get this specific thing and you had your eyes set on it, it could mean that there are other opportunities waiting for you in the same industry, in the same field, or maybe not even in this field, and you're just getting that guidance from God or source or universe or whatever you call it to guide you to what you should actually be doing. The next thing about rejection is that it's a blessing in disguise, right? Sometimes you feel like you need to be at this place, but the rejection is showing you that you need to be somewhere else. Another thing, so many things coming out from rejection. It could also be that for you are not in the place at that moment where the thing you want this is to be around you. So it's to find out, how can I be the person who has the thing I'm going after? How can I be the person who goes to that university, who has that job, who has that kind of a partner, or who has that partner? Who do I have to be energetically and from a mental perspective? What kind of mindset do I have to have that job or to go to that school? And do I even really want to have that job or go to that school or be with that person? So the rejection is just helping you to open your eyes to seeing, what are you meant for? What is your purpose? What is your calling? What is right for you? So don't take it too hard when rejection happens, because it will happen. Remember that sometimes it's just showing you to persevere, and it's just encouraging you to be more creative, right? So you didn't get into that university, Maybe you need to find a way to write a better essay, or change your resume, or write a nicer cover letter, right? Or whatever it is that you need to do to be the person who has the thing that you're trying to bring to you, or to manifest, or to call in. And so again, remember, life is not happening to you. Rejection is not the end of the road. No means not yet. And some of the biggest blessings you will have in life will come after you've been told no, or after you've faced a huge rejection. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you in how to look at rejection differently and how to overcome it. And we can overcome it when we start to think about it differently, and when we see it as a blessing and not a curse. Okay, so if you want help in figuring out how to find your life purpose, or your calling, or what your dream job is, you can check out my free mini course. The link should be in the description box, and I hope that will be helpful for you as well. And check out my other videos. Remember to subscribe, share these videos with your friends who you know need it, and share your comments and questions below, and I'll be here to answer you. Bye. See you in the next video. Peace and love to you. Ciao.